Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Stalingrad. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. WesleyCoomber, playing as the Wehrmacht faction, or austere faction in the red. And his opponent in the blue is going to be Mr. CookiezNcreem, playing as the Soviet faction. Right off the bat, we do see that Mr. Coomber has decided to go for his doctrine, and that is the Mobile Defense Doctrine, which, it's nice. It'll give him access to those Pumas, which we'll probably see, and obviously the command track, plus the Hostruppen. So yeah, it's a nice little doctrine. Not exactly sure he needed to go for it right now, because, you don't really get that much of a benefit, unless you want to pop your munitions early on to use the counterattack tactics. But, early in the game, probably don't need that. But yeah. So anyways, WesleyCoomber building himself tier 1 right at the front of the base. Little all VCO strategy, getting your building as far up as possible. Not really that beneficial in Company Heroes 2, although you can still use it as a forward reinforcement spot, especially useful for the Wehrmacht. But, the units come from outside the map rather than spawning on the building, which is why in VCO you would always put your first building right at the edge of your base so you could get those units out onto the field as quickly as possible. Still, though, it's an okay strategy to do. So we see WesleyCoomber getting himself 2 Pios to start off with, and then he follows it up with 2 Grenadiers. Probably going to see an MG somewhere around there. And for CookiezNcreem, obviously no Doctrine. He is a Soviet player, so he's just going to get conscripts, and more conscripts. Though I shouldn't say obviously, as that has changed, in the later stages of Company Heroes 2, but that is still pretty much the good old standard, I guess you could say. Just going for conscripts, and then you can decide to attack. So center of the map, we see an engagement. We got combat engineers getting harassed here by a Grand Squad. The Grand Squad does push them away from the center victory point, does not allow them to cap it, and the combat engineers pop themselves inside this big-ass structure, a warehouse of sorts, to try and fend off the Grens, although with a Pioneer Squad nearby, they are also getting themselves battered. Conscript Squad pops in to replace them into the warehouse, I guess I'm going to call it. What would you call this? An office building, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, this big-ass building, and the combat engineers pop out to capture the victory point on the right-hand side. Pios behind the enemy lines are going to cap some strategic points, although it doesn't necessarily cut off anything. And on the center, we have some conscripts spattered around, engaging enemies. Grens hold up on the left-hand side inside this little house of sorts. Again, what would you call this? Probably a house, right? And Pios capturing the point on side allow them to win the engagement, although CookiezNcreem, being a little bit more conservative with his conscripts, does not allow a single one to die and just retreats since he knows it is an unwinnable engagement. Center munitions, we have conscripts engaging against Grens. The Gren Squad is down to 1 man. It's trying to pick off the conscript squad if it can, as it is being supported by another Gren Squad inside this, again, big-ass house, because Stalingrad is just full of big-ass houses. The Gren holds strong, manages to stay alive, down to 1 man, retreats after the engagement has been won, and the conscripts do lose most of their men, down to 2, are forced away by the second Gren Squad. MG now on the field for Mr. Coomber, as we saw her suspected, and ooh, very interesting. He's getting himself a sniper. Oh, we like to see that snipers, and very thematical, I suppose, as we have the Soviets and the Austere engaging in Stalingrad. 5 conscript squads on the field for CookiezNcreem, so if you wanted to see standard, well, there you go. Conscripts, and more conscripts. Almost considered spam, but it all depends on how you use it. Combat engineers over here on the right-hand side engaging Pios at close range. They are going to lose that engagement since the Pios do have their SMGs, and they know it, so they retreat. Pio squad is now laying down an S minefield over here on this right-hand side path. An interesting choice by Mr. Coomber. I mean, it is in the way to the fuel, so it can potentially be quite lethal. And he does not manage to lay down completely. It only lays down 2 sections of it, but it is sections that are covering the street. And even at first glance, it's kind of hard to tell that they're there because the signposts that are a telltale sign are actually a little bit obfuscated there by the building. So, nice little placement there. Over on the left-hand side, we do see a lot of German troops holding their ground. MG42 managing to get a nice angle there from the corner, catching the conscript squad as it was trying to capture the strategic point right at the side of Coomber's base. Grand Squad moves in right on top of them, has a turkey shoot, kills them off, and forces the squad away down to 2 men. The sniper is now on the field. Let's go ahead and put a hotkey. No, we have the metal. There we go. UI now working properly. Put a hotkey on this bad boy and see how much he gets. He actually has 3 kills to his name right now, so it looks like these conscripts in the center were actually picked up more by the sniper rather than these Grens. But overall, pretty, well, slow kind of game, I guess you could say. We do see Battle Phase 1 getting escalated here for Mr. Coomber. Also laying down a bunker, obviously a med bunker going to be going down there. But he does have a very low unit count. He has lost the Pio squad in some engagement. Let's see if we can catch that. So I guess I shouldn't say it since you probably already saw it. The Pioneers before the 6 minutes. There we go. We'll see if we can catch how that Pio squad died. And these conscripts around behind enemy lines, getting themselves a nice flank on that Grand Squad. Grand Squad is down to 2 men. CookiezNcreem is trying to cut it off, although it's not getting any shots as it is moving in the same direction. Now that the Grand Squad is in front of it, manages to pick up one more guy, but the remaining man is a very solid, stalwart Grenadier and makes it out of there alive. Sniper moving back out onto the field. 4 men alive. I mean, 4 men killed by him. And he's going to pick up a couple more, although it is moving itself into a very dangerous position. He may go down here. Sniper takes a shot. Down goes one of the conscripts. Moves itself back into some cover. Gets itself cloaked. And a nice pickup there for the sniper of Coomber. So yeah, Coomber desperately needs something else on the field right now. He is, well, outmanned right now. We have 6 conscript squads on the field for Mr. CookiezNcreem. He does have that MG to be able to hold down the ground, though Coomber is being a little bit passive with it. He does have it set up in this building. I wonder if he is setting the face of fire. Not sure if you can tell in the Molotov going in. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can tell in the replay system whether the facing has been set, but we see conscripts just flooding forward and overwhelming this MG42 getting Molotov, though the size of the house allows it to really stay alive a lot longer than it should have against the Molotov. However, down to 1 man is forced to pack up and leave, packs up through the behind of the building, down to 1 man on this conscript squad. The conscript squad looks like it's trying to go for the kill on this MG, but it realizes, oh wait, all my buddies are dead. I'm gonna run through the flames like a badass and make it out of there alive, because that's just how awesome I am, right? Grand Squad moves up, picks up some more conscripts, and the conscripts are having a tough time breaking through, although we can see from the map that CookiezNcreem is pretty much dominating the rest of the map, because, well, when you have 6 conscripts on the field, why wouldn't you, right? Ostrupen reserves have been called onto the field for Mr. WesleyCoomber to be able to bolster his numbers, and that is going to be quite a relief for him. We see Grand Squad inside this house being forced to pop out as the conscripts do throw a Molotov at it. Grand Squad coming up for the flank, getting another pickup there on the conscript squad. 3 men retreat, and they will make it out of there alive, and the Ostrupen got onto the field, 1 with Veterancy 1 and an LMG equipped, and a second one with Veterancy 2 acquired. So it's a nice little thing about that ability. You can't call them in early, but you can call them in better. So I don't actually remember the cost of the Ostrupen Doctrine's Ostrupen. I'm assuming this is more expensive per squad, right? Simply because it's 2 squads and actually, can it be more than 2 squads? Well, whatever. Let me know. You guys know more about this game than I do, right? So Ostrupens and Gren backed up by the sniper, pushing all the way to the center. The sniper in the rear are going to be able to provide a lot of support here, as we do have a lot of flanking squads. Molotov getting tossed by the conscript squad from this house, or, well, the other side of that house. There's nothing much there. Hitting one of the Grand Squads, doing a lot of damage there. Grand Squad is down to 2 men. The sniper is just picking up units left and right. He's got 11 kills to his name right now. The conscripts are forced to retreat, and 1 conscript squad did end up dying. I would assume it died right here. I'm probably not going to look for this one since I'm pretty sure it's there. Look at all those troops. Conscripts do get themselves equipped with PPSHs. They managed to eliminate one of the Grand Squad. Second Grand Squad is forced to retreat down to 1 man, but the conscripts are unable to finish it off. We do have the advanced warfare tactics selected for Mr. CookiezNcreem. WesleyCoomber sniper is up to 13 kills, and yeah, the advanced warfare tactics allows him to get that radio intercept, the PPS Aegis, and of course the T-34-85 afterwards. So it's a nicely little balanced Doctrine. I like it. Well-rounded. Ostrupen managing to be the only ones to survive that engagement, aside from the sniper. Gonna be moving forward, and they managed to capture some more territory, and it looks like they want to connect territory now, and we see more S minefields getting laid down for Mr. Coomber. Coomber being very aggressive with those minefields, but we do see that CookiezNcreem has upgraded his combat engineers with a sweeper, so they're not going to be as effective as he would like. The S minefield over here on the right-hand side is still up and active. It does not look like it has been detonated. I don't see any splashes, and they're all still there. But yeah, I mean, good on him for laying down his minefields as much as he can, and it looks like he's doing the little trick that was mentioned very early on in the lifespan, although not sure if he is or not. But basically an S minefield, unless the mechanics were changed and I was not aware of it, you can actually lay down a partial S minefield, because an S minefield is essentially 4 points to get laid down, and you know they make that grid. So you can lay down like one of the points and then cancel, like move the pios without building the rest, and that point will actually stay there. So you know you get the refund on the remaining munitions, and you make it more of a small little anti-personnel mine. Ooh, Ostrupen in the center, not looking great. Getting battered and beaten down to one man. Barely make it out of there, keeping their LMG intact. The conscripts trying to chase it down, but the SMGs are ineffective at range and are unable to finish the deal. Another Ostrupen squad retreating. Oh, this time it has to retreat through a conscript squad. Not gonna make... Oh! CookiezNcreem does not stop the conscript squad to pick himself up a kill. That is a missed opportunity there for CookiezNcreem. He had it queued up in order to go move in this direction, and that made it so that the Ostrupen of Mr. Coomber barely makes it out of there alive, and we now have 4 Ostrupen on the field. Conscript squad pushing forward, getting themselves on top of the Ostrupen. The Ostrupen are going to shift position and get right on top of the conscript. That's a lot of rifles looking at that one man. Trying to retreat. It has to retreat through... Well, not has to retreat, but it's going to retreat through a friendly conscript squad, which allows it to stay alive. Preemptive Molotov getting tossed there by the other conscript squad with the PPS Aegis, assuming that the Ostrupen were going to try and chase down their buddy. But Coomber, relaxed and confident, decides that caution is the better part of valor, right? And he doesn't go for it. So there you go. Grand Squad retreating from the left-hand side as this conscript squad beat it. Still alive though, so it remains there. Ostrupen moving up to engage. The point did not get lost, and WesleyCoomber is managing to put up quite a fight. What is he? Oh, tier 3 going down for CookiezNcreem as he gets himself tier 1. Tier 1 to tier 3. Very... No, never mind. I'm not going to say that again. That is no longer the case. I was going to say it was a very aggressive teching pattern because, you know, at least back in the day, tier 1, you know, cost less fuel than tier 2. So you could get tier 3 up quicker, but you don't get access to the AT guns, so it made it much more vulnerable to enemy vehicles. But that is no longer the case, but yet he still went to tier 1 to tier 3, so we'll see. He ends up canceling tier 3, however, so ooh, interesting choice. CookiezNcreem deciding, you know what, I don't actually want tier 3, I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to build myself another conscript squad. I'm missing one from the previous engagement, so may as well get myself another one. Right-hand side, Pio's capturing some points. We have conscript squad with only 2 men trying to capture this point. The S minefield taking its toll on that conscript squad. We see a lot of mines being tripped in this center map. More conscripts just spattered around trying to hold the line as Ostrupen also captures some territory. And victory points are pretty much dead even. We got 424 versus 420. Yeah, just place. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty dead even there. And WesleyCoomber is slowly encroaching onto CookiezNcreem's territory as his MG42 is forced to pack up and head back home. Ostrupen squad making it stand right in front of that conscript squad, taking a little bit of damage, but with the support of an LMG-equipped Grand Squad with veterans E3, well, they're going to win whatever engagement they want. Sniper now up to 16 kills. Slowly working its way through veteran C1, or well, getting veteran C2, I suppose. Conscripts popping inside this big-ass house. Sniper, remember that it has a 50% chance to miss versus troops inside buildings. So Sniper against buildings is not the best idea. Oh, the sniper is going to get flanked here. Takes a shot at the conscripts, but it puts itself in a very, very bad spot. Going to hit retreat. Can he make it out of there? It looks like he may just be able to make it out of there. Volley going to fly in its direction. Going to get some hits down to about half health, but the sniper makes it out of there. A narrow miss there from Mr. Coomber. And CookiezNcreem unable to seal the deal there. We now see a building, not a building, but a tank getting built by Mr. Coomber. He built himself tier 3. Tier 1 to tier 3, skipping it altogether, and getting himself a Stug. Very interesting choice for Coomber. He does not see, at least not yet, any type of enemy vehicles, but one can only assume when you see your opponent not, you know, putting any vehicles out onto the field is that he's going to be utilizing Tank Collins. So he gets himself a Stug. Not the worst idea. I mean, probably a Panzer IV would have been better in this situation right now as it stands, because it's a little bit more versatile and would help a lot against those conscripts. But the Stug isn't horrible. It actually does a decent job fighting against infantry, so, you know, again, it's fine. It's quite okay. The narrow alleyways here for the Stug make it very easy for it to cover and fight against vehicles, but again, the Stug could also get flanked very easily, you know, if it is unaware of a vehicle coming up front. A lot of conscripts over on the right-hand side. Ostrupen squad going to realize that in a minute, but it is supported by that Grand Squad. The Grand Squad is going to be providing a lot of fire there by the LMG. We do have rifle grenades available for the Grand Squad. The conscripts are focusing down the LMG. The LMG down to one man, forced away. The Ostrupen squad now sandwiched in between 3 conscripts. We do have a Pio squad coming in for support, but the Ostrupen squad needs to retreat or it's going to die. It looks like it's going to die. It's down to 3 men now, very quickly going down. The Pioneer squad is trying to do as much as it can, but the Ostrupen squad not even going to hit retreat. Away it goes, and we see another teller. Oh. Well, WesleyCoomber set up a Q order here for this Pios. The Pios are going to try and lay down a teller mine in front of enemy fire. They realize, oh wait, those are not friendlies because they keep shooting us. So we're just going to retreat, and the mine will probably be canceled at some point. T-34-85 now on the field for Mr. CookiezNcreem. The Stug in a very bad spot here. It has the T-34 on its flank, and it is unable to turn itself around to face it. Now it turns around, going to be able to get a shot off on it. And it stops it, although the T-34 is the first to shoot, getting a nice hit in there. The T-34-85 is going to try the circle straight here. The Stug needs to move itself backwards and put itself in a better angle. Nope, gets itself circle straight, and the Stug is going to be going down to the T-34-85. Again, one of the reasons why the Panzer IV would have probably been a better choice here for Coomber, because at least that one has a turret. T-34-85 still outclasses it though, and it would have probably died anyways, but it would have not have been, you know, such a painful thing to watch. T-34-85 taking double Faust to the face, down to about 20% strength at best. Backing off, being covered here by 2 conscript squads. The conscript squads are severely injured, so they are not in the best of shape. The Ostrupen squad are focusing down the conscripts. Conscript squad down to 1 man, forced away. The second squad is still 2 man strong. Gonna be focused here by the Ostrupen. The Ostrupen can force it to retreat. There it goes. The second conscript, or third conscript squad, I should say, with 2 men remaining are also there. The T-34-85 is backing off. We see a Puma now on the field for WesleyCoomber. Gonna try and take out the T-34-85. T-34-85 notices it, but it misses its, well, the Puma misses its shot. The Puma moves up, takes a shot, and down goes the T-34-85. The conscripts do not have access to AT guns and are unable to snare that Puma. And the Puma is just simply gonna move out of the way and stay alive. Puma is currently set to prioritize vehicles, so it is not going to shoot at any of the infantry. Should potentially change that, but huge force of infantry moving through the center for Coomber. We have double Ostrupen, the sniper, now with 22 kills to its name, about to acquire Veterancy 2. At Veterancy 2, it gets improved rate of fire and sighting, so it just makes it a awesome killing machine. And the Puma moves up. Yeah, it should be, you know, you can remove it. Like I've said before, the Puma not the best against infantry, but it has a machine gun and it shoots. So, you know, it'll get some kills every once in a while, so may as well have it support your infantry like pretty much any other tank. Ostrupen on the left-hand side, unawares that a conscript squad is capturing the victory point behind them. We also have a conscript squad, or actually combat engineer squad behind enemy lines. The Puma moving up against them, not actually shooting at it because it is once again prioritizing vehicles. Now it decides, oh, you know what? I'm just going to shoot these guys. Does have that coaxial gun, so it should be able to help. There it goes. But of course the shots just whiff and miss because they are designed against vehicles. Combat engineer squad forced to retreat through a huge wad of infantry. Not going to be making it out of there alive at all. It's dead. Ostrupen, MG, Grenz, and a sniper. Now realizing that there is another T-34-85 on the field. Conscript squad is pinned down and forced away. The sniper, veteran T2 acquired, 27 kills to its name. We do have the Puma on the field, but the Puma is getting repaired, and the Puma can kill the T-34-85, but it is, of course, quite vulnerable to its fire. MG-42 deciding that it is going to hold strong against that not the T-34. T-34-85 moving itself right up front to the MG packing up and repositioning itself. It's just going to reposition itself to shoot the T-34-85. Well, the Puma is going to make itself known and take some shots. We do have a T-grenades going off on the Puma, finally getting upgraded there for Mr. Cookies and Cream, and managing to eliminate the Puma. In doing so, however, the T-34-85 has suffered engine damage and lost its weapon systems, so it is in very, very bad shape. It does not look like it's going to make it out of there alive. WesleyCoomber does have a lot of munitions available to him, so he is going to pursue with both Grenz squad and Ostrupen squad to get another Faust going and eliminate the T-34-85. The Grenz squad is available to shoot a Faust. There it goes, and down goes the T-34-85. A nice pickup there for Coomber, so another 1-for-1, I suppose. So both players now without vehicles. Cookies and Cream has suffered quite a bit of losses. His combat engineer squad died in some place. I'm assuming probably over here or over there. I don't know. I don't think it's that important to check where it died. And he is down to 5 conscript squads, whereas he had 6 in his prime. Grand squad is getting surrounded here by conscripts. Needs to retreat. There is a flanking conscript squad behind it. May be able to pick up the kill on the veteran C3 squad. That could be lethal here for Coomber, but it does not look like it happens. He calls himself another Ostrupen squad out onto the field, or Ostrupen reserves out onto the field, and now he has 5 Ostrupen to fight with. Conscripts pushing forward. Their PPS sages just manhandling the Ostrupen doing the best they can to hold their ground against the conscript, but that is just going to get themselves killed. This Ostrupen squad probably not going to make it out of there alive. With 2 more Ostrupen squad getting in the way, it looks like it's barely going to make it out of there. Veteran C3 not lost, and the Ostrupens, not Ostrupen, but the conscript squad with 2 PPS sages are forced to retreat and barely make it out of there. The MG has been forced out of the field, or out of that big-ass house, as another conscript squad came up, down to 1 man, barely making it out of there, but the Ostrupen are now very numerous. I mean, that is 16 guns looking at those conscripts. The conscripts are veteran C2, veteran C3, however. And there is yet another Ostrupen squad, veteran C3 acquired and an LMG equipped, so that conscript squad not really going to do that well. It's just outnumbered completely and, well, frankly, outgunned as well. Conscript squad repositioning itself inside the big-ass house, trying to shoot as much as it can. The Ostrupen squad up in the north, managing to disconnect or, well, decrew the point. Conscripts pop themselves out of the rear of the big-ass house. Ostrupen squad could do with just popping inside. And the conscripts may be sacrificing themselves. It looks like they're going over for this point, but yeah, I mean, that is going to put them in a very awkward spot. It does not look like Coomber wants to try and go and hunt them down, although now that it notices that the point is being taken, he's going to hunt it down with the Ostrupen. Does have a pioneer squad with a flamethrower in the retreat path of the conscripts. So this conscript squad, veteran C3, may be actually lost here for Cookies and Cream. I don't think he's going to be able to make it out of there. Barrage going off by the rifles of the Ostrupen. The Ostrupen are now a lot right in front of them. Flamethrower goes off, down to 1, and away goes the Cookies and Cream conscript. Another conscript squad does get produced as Cookies and Cream continues to flood the field with more and more conscripts. But, yeah, I mean, he lost his veterancy. You should keep your veterancy as much as you can. If it's a brand new squad, yeah, maybe I can see not wanting to care too much about it and, you know, letting it die. But a veteran C3 squad takes quite a bit to get to and helps out quite a lot in the game. So Ostrupen's just bolstering their own numbers, just clumped up together, making sure that everybody gets a shot. Conscript squad with PPSHs picked down to 3 men. The Ostrupen are trying as best they can to fight against conscripts, but now it's a 3-on-3. The LMG will provide a lot of support, but the PPSHs are just going to do so much damage at close range that, yeah, Coomber knows, yeah, I can't win this engagement, so he retreats, and the conscripts are left to reign supreme. Stug once again on the field for Mr. Coomber. It looks like he definitely likes his Stugs. Gets a nice shot there on the conscripts. Like I said, Stug, not that bad against infantry. And yeah, takes it out. But again, personally, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something I just don't know that is the reason why he does that. But, I mean, personally, I would probably just go for Panzer IV in this situation and utilize the ability to call in a Puma to bolster the anti-tank capabilities where needed. But, like I said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just thinking about it in a different way. And there's something that the Stug can do here that I'm just not noticing. So anyways, the Stug trying to chase down some conscripts is not able to do it too easily as, well, it's a Stug. But it can turn itself around here and get a nice shot off on it, potentially killing some guys. No, whiffs the shot completely, flies past their heads. Not through their heads as it would have liked, but past it. And we finally see CookiezNcreem utilizing his tier 1 that he built ages ago because he was apparently going tier 3 and then decided against it because I guess he noticed he could just call it a T-34-85. And he's calling himself a Penal Battalion onto the field. Penal Battalion will help out quite a bit, especially with the Flamethrower upgrade. Those Ostrupen tend to be very flammable as their armor and clothing are usually traditionally coated with kerosene, so they go up in flames just like that. Ostrupen, no, sorry, not Ostrupen, conscripts in the center, forcing away a Grand Squad as it did, you know. Go crush them, just crush them, they're on the floor. They like to dance, so give them more. Yeah, they're suppressed, just go crush a fool. Remember, your tanked threats kind of work better against infantry than their shots. And we see the Stug is actually just shooting the ground here, trying to apparently kill the infantry there, but no. There you go. CookiezNcreem, I think, realized what was happening with the Stug and decided, you know what, start focusing on actual threats. MG managing to pin down one of the approaching conscripts, getting a little bit flanked by the other, but not suffering too much damage as an Ostrupen squad was there to support it. And we have more points getting capped. 349 to 217. It looks like Coomber has... God, it's so difficult to know who am I supposed to be looking at here. So yeah, Coomber has 349 and has 2 points capped, and CookiezNcreem is the one with 210. Yeah. Just like, why do the colors like have to change like that? So unnecessarily complicated. Penal Battalion over on the left-hand side, being utilized to cap some points. The Stug just there to be a pain in their ass. Ostrupen squad moving up to recover the point. Their LMG will provide them with a decent amount of fire support here. The Stug could do with firing on infantry here and not just sitting there looking pretty. But we now have the T-34-85 on the field. The Stug is not looking in this direction. Get itself shot in the face. Returns fire and misses completely. The T-34-85 does get Fausted, but remember the Faust has been changed so that the engine critical does not trigger unless the vehicle is below 75% strength. The second Faust goes off. There goes a crit on the engine, but the Stug is done for. It has been circle straight here and is now just getting manhandled by the T-34-85. Manages to get a return shot before it dies. Second Stug on the field, getting a nice shot there on the T-34-85 rear. Managing to kill it off, but not before it removes one of the Stugs, but the conscripts have been eliminated all over the place. The Penal Battalion also dying up here in the north. And the playback is over as it is evident that CookiezNcreem throws in the towel as he has just lost everything. So very well played there for Coomber, as he was also kind of outclassed as rank goes, I believe, is what he said in his description. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.